Oh, yeah. I worked out yesterday.
Nice.
So my little titties are sore.
Yeah? Do a little chest day?
My breasts. Yeah, I did chest. I've been trying to just do, like, perfect form and not care about the weight.
Yeah.
It's way worse.
Get harder?
It's way harder.
Dude, have you done slow reps?
Yeah. I do them as slow as I can. I control it on the way down, and then, like, stretches, like, go as low as I can on the bench press. Like, you feel your titty stretching.
Yeah, dude, you're lifting like a bodybuilder.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, like, do it perfect. Cause, well, I'm just also paranoid about getting hurt. Because, like, the only times I've gotten hurt are when I'm just like, I'm going to pull 100 billion pounds, even though I cannot physically do that. And then I fail the rep and throw out my back.
Yeah, I've had the same thing with tearing my shoulder. And now I've been like, let me just make sure I can control it.
You don't even care. There's like 4-pound weights in your hands.
Yeah.
I'm like shaking with 100 pounds on the bar. Like,
I also am not, I stopped feeling like a pussy if I'm using machines. If I'm going to use a machine, like I'll use a machine if I feel that's what I'm most comfortable with.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to, we're going to be buff week, dude. I'm telling you.
Buff week,
We're going to be huge. We're going to be
like
jacked.
that, boys?
Buff week, you like that shit? I'm gonna go like this. This is gonna be a 6-pack right there. Check that out, huh? You fucking horny little freaks,
little sluts,
little whores out there, nasty little girls.
Just old dudes.
Sorry, I don't mean to mean. I don't mean that at all. You guys, you know me.
No,
you can do whatever you want to me.
Yeah,
you know
you guys can jerk off to us.
You can jack it. You can whack it.
We take it as a compliment. We're not fucking.
There's definitely a gay guy who's like getting hard right now.
Yeah, that'd be a gay guy with the weirdest taste in the world. If you and me are his two types,
that'd be crazy. He's like, I'm big into like ginger, like skinny fat gingers and like Lego heads. That's what I like. I like a peanut head and a skinny fat ginger. Those are my favorite things. Little fucking little peanut head.
Skinny fat gingers and Italian peas.
Little peeners. Yeah, dude. I fucking cleaned the house today.
Nice. How you feeling?
I better get the biggest thank you.
Yeah.
I better get a fucking big ass thank you.
Do you clean the house a lot?
No.
See, me either. And I think that's the trick, because when I do, it's like the most lovely surprise possible.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to hit it once every 6 weeks.
Now, some relationship counselor would probably argue it would be better if I did it consistently to show consistent appreciation. But the thing with appreciation is you only get it if you do something rarely.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to be shitty.
And they take it for granted.
Yeah, it's got to be a nice surprise.
Yeah, dude, there's no way.
You get used to something. Then, if I clean the house all the time, she'd be like, why didn't you clean it the way you cleaned it last week?
Yeah,
but because I clean it once a month, she's like, oh my God,
I can't believe you cleaned. Yeah.
That's the key.
Because I'm unbelievable.
Bro.
Yeah. That's exactly right. No, I was
give him a little bit.
I vacuumed everything, and then I washed the sheets, and we're going to fucking make the bed and shit.
Hell yeah, dude.
I picked up the room. There was a bunch of bullshit in our room. I picked it all up.
Nice.
So I better get up.
Wow. Thank you.
Such like a validation seeking shitty behavior that I'm doing.
Oh yes.
I'm exaggerating. I'm gonna try my best not to seek validation, but while I'm doing it, I'm like, I'm an amazing person.
I need Autumn to leave for me to do chores. She
she can't be
talks
around.
so much, dude. I sound like such a fucking fuck with you, the fucking yappers. Oh my God, chatty fucking catty over here.
It's fucking incorrigible.
It's really, she talks so much, and I do love talking to her, but not when I need to really focus on something.
Not when you need to do something.
Oh no.
Yeah,
because she just talks, and it just interrupts. Like I need to lose myself in dish doing.
No,
I need
like to
pop
put on
a podcast or music.
Yeah, put on a little Bluetooth.
Music.
Make something nice. I also really I do kind of like that she's gone all day and I'm gone all night, because then I'll like do something at home and there's like a little treat waiting for her.
Yes.
Like I'll make dinner early. She can just have dinner ready.
I think Autumn's getting a job, and the separation of church and state is nice. It's nice to miss.
She's gonna get a job?
I think so. She's at this big conference right now.
Oh, nice.
Like talking to all these employers, and I guess she's crushing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you say what she's gonna do, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Yeah, journalism.
Okay, nice.
She might be on camera. She might be a news reporter.
Oh wow, in Austin?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's interviewing for like a bunch of different jobs.
That's crazy.
She's like crushing it there. I knew she would. I'm like, you're pretty.
Yeah.
She looked nice. I'm like, this is gonna go.
Yeah, you got the degree.
I've never walked into an interview
and it has skills.
No, she's smart and amazing at her job. But here's the thing: it's an Asian American conference. I'm putting a lot of info out there now, but this will come out when it's done.
Yeah.
It's an Asian American conference, so I'm like, dude, she's very smart and very good at her job. I'm not one of these guys that's like she's
part Asian.
But she's also part Asian, what my point is,
Yeah.
she's going up against the best of the best.
Yeah.
If it's an Asian conference, it's not a fucking Puerto Rican conference.
No, yeah, that's true.
These are Asians. She's going against
Puerto Rican journalism conference.
Yes.
What are they reporting on?
There was like a car wreck and like mad people died.
It was like mad different.
Motherfuckers was like on fire and shit. Like shit was like OD crazy, bro. Like
I don't even want to be here right now.
no, for real. Like it's like mad hot out, and like it's even hotter with like the car on fire and these like kids burning and shit. Like it's
this shit is like mad. Like, or they're just reporting on like I don't even know what.
for real. The mayor is like a fuckboy. Like he's bugging.
He's not even true.
The
That's
mayor is
true. Just sitting at like he's having a press conference. She can't help but be like, oh.
And another thing I want to say, Greg Abbott, you crippled motherfucker. Like you not showing respect to any people from the hood.
The hood don't fuck with you, Greg.
No.
They don't give a fuck. You crippled and shit.
No, but the Asians are just great at everything.
Yeah,
dude.
Not everything.
They're
Being
getting
tall.
there. Being tall, fucking Yao Ming, dude.
That's one.
He was pretty tall.
Whites are way better. At
Have
being
you
tall,
seen
on average?
That's true, but dude, the tallest of tall are Asians.
No,
there's an Asian
the tallest of
basketball.
tall, are black guys and white guys.
I don't know, dude. The top
White guys are the best at being tall.
on average, but the Asians when they put out their single best, that guy's 8 feet tall. Asians have huge people,
Yeah,
dude.
they make them in a lab though. You know, Yao
Yes.
Ming was like a lab baby.
Was he like
Not a lab
IVF?
baby, but it was a concerted effort by the Taiwanese government to make a tall person.
No.
Like, they took a tall woman and a tall man. And they're
No.
like, we're gonna make a tall guy.
How did I not know this?
I
Is this
swear
real?
to God. I mean, this could be misinformation. We are a misinformation-based podcast.
Yes.
But
We love spreading
we love spreading misinformation, dude. Is it real? No. But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I heard that. I think I read it on Reddit, so it's probably true. But I read that online that it was like they found like a 6'2" woman and like a 6'8" guy, and we're like, just make babies, make a tall one.
Damn, dude, they're breeding the Taiwanese.
Yeah, the Taiwanese have selective breeding.
You've returned.
They're just looking up at two people.
And this red is returned.
Some guy's like, I found the guy who's a 5'9". You're like, that's not tall. He's pretty tall.
From the 6'3" already.
Yeah,
She's
there's just
huge.
one. She's like she's lifting like 4 baskets of water on her neck or whatever. Something insane. Dude, you ever see those Chinese farmers? I think they're the strongest farmers in the world. Pound
Probably,
for pound.
yeah.
Pound for pound. You ever seen them just putting like 2 watermelons on each shoulder?
Yeah,
And
like
they're
straight
4
Jungle
foot
Book
9,
style.
82 years old.
Yeah.
They're fucking shaped like a damn hill.
Shaped like a damn question mark.
Shaped
and
like
shit.
damn question mark and shit. Bro, they can touch their toes with their nose and shit. They just they just peck.
Yeah, that's a tough bow. Bowing
Oh,
is
yeah.
Yao Ming's got to be rough.
Yeah. I don't think he can.
That's not a bowing body.
No, I mean, also watching him play basketball is not. It wasn't particularly like beautiful.
No.
It wasn't graceful at all.
No, he was really clunky and slow.
Yeah, there's like graceful like 7'3" guys.
Wemby.
Wemby's
Nuts.
nasty. Even Shaq, I would say, was like a more like he was like brutish or whatever. But
he was
still
athletic.
But he was very athletic.
Yeah.
Whereas like Yao Ming's like. You
Yeah.
ever see like a kid with Marfan syndrome?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It'll be like they're like the 7'3" 12-year-old, and you're ready to be like, oh my god, that's crazy. And then you see him, and he looks like a legit alien.
Yeah, they always run very upright.
Yeah. I think
The
it's
big
because
tall
if they
guys?
bend over at all, they will fall over.
They
It's just like
can't keep their
moving
balance.
this much because they're 120 pounds and they're 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
So if they just lean forward, that's like 80 pounds on their 40-pound legs. They're just gonna fucking eat
Yeah,
shit.
the tower of
Their
Pisa
center
shit.
of gravity is just atrocious. They bounce the ball; it like takes a full second to come back to their hand. They're like,
Dude, their strides are so slow, too.
Yeah.
They run in slow motion. People that tall move like video games.
and then they talk in slow motion too.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she's going against the Asians, though, dude.
Yeah, she'll beat up
She's
the
doing
Asians because she's got the credentials to be there,
Yes.
but also isn't fully Eastern Asian.
Yes.
I think that's a big leg up.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Playing to your strengths here, I was like, you're pretty, you're fun to be around.
This
This is huge.
You're dunking on fun to be around.
Let's
with
be.
these-
It's a landslide.
It's a Chinese man.
It's a landslide. That is the one thing they're not the best at.
Yeah.
It's just a
No,
pleasure
I
to
want
be
to.
around.
I want to hang out with like a Japanese salary man.
Yeah.
You ever hear of these guys?
No, tell me more.
They work. Their hours are like 7 to 7, and they just go and they just drink, and they don't have families. All they do is they work from 7 to 7, and then they drink from like 8 to 11, and they pass out, and they just do it like 6 days a week.
Nice.
And they have like a suicide rate of like 80%. I want to get hammered with one of those guys. It's probably fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's probably so sad. He's like got his loose tie, and he's like, "Oh, it'll teach you." You know, you're like, holy shit, this guy's on the brink of suicide.
Yeah, they're like Super Saiyan Irish guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They're like the Irish on steroids.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's intense.
Just chain smoking.
Yeah, the amount of repression, they haven't gotten pussy like ever.
Yeah.
Not because like they're shitty people or bad people. They just want, for some reason, they feel obligated to work 70 hours a week and are alcoholics. And you're like, dude, this guy's awesome.
This is the culture.
This guy's sick as hell.
Yeah.
And he's just an insurance
Just
adjuster.
an old-fashioned man.
Yeah.
Just
and
how
he
they
lives
used
in
to
like a
make 'em.
shit apartment because he's never there.
Yeah.
He's just his life stinks. He commutes like an hour and a half each way for some reason. He takes a bullet train from the north of Japan to the south of
He
Japan.
just works 70 hours a week,
Yeah.
and he's an alcoholic. He chain smokes, and then he silently kills himself.
Yeah. And then no one notices.
Because there's two billion other people.
They just fucking notice a smell.
There's a smear.
His apartment has a smell.
Oh, it's a smear.
They're like, Fukushima's, there's a little bit of a smell.
Oh, these people got to stop carrying themselves.
Yeah, it's kind of a bad smell. I don't know. Yeah, that makes me quite sad. I mean, they're like turbo capitalists in like the worst way that way. But I don't know. But it's like self-imposed. It's like the same thing that was they're putting samurai swords into their own guts.
Yeah,
it's like the same ethic.
What was it called? Hakamura?
No, it's called. They call it harikari, but that's not the real word.
Yeah,
for it.
harikari is what I'm thinking of.
Seppuku.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Did you ever watch the show? It was pretty good. I only watched a few episodes, though. It's a new FX show. It's kind of like Last Samurai, but actually good.
I
forget what it's called.
Warrior?
No.
Warrior's on Netflix.
No, it's a new show on someone will like is screaming at the screen right now. I forget what it's called. But this like basically this like Westerner, like kind of like crash lands in Japan when he's like not supposed to. Like he's like a British guy and it was like under like Spanish control or something like that.
Nice.
And then but it shows just like feudal Japanese politics is like a big part of the show, which is like pretty sick. It's kind of like reminds me of like early Game of Thrones, where it's just like, yeah, we're just gonna have like a Japanese meeting about like what fiefdom, you know, how you're gonna run your fiefdom. Like I don't know, I get kind of into that stuff, but there's a part where one of the like leaders of a fief is like being like mistreated, and like one of his underlings is like, "Don't say that to him," and he goes, "Oh God, I've dishonored you," and then he just immediately goes away and kills himself. Dude. He just immediately cuts his own bowels out.
Dude, there's nothing more Asian than killing yourself because you misspoke.
Yeah, exactly what he did. He was just like, he yapped in a meeting when he wasn't supposed to yap in a meeting, and then he just cut his own guts out.
Just botched the
and
conversation.
That guy's lineage is the guy who's like chain smoking and like works 17 hours a day.
See, I really think Asians are just the ones who have the balls to kill themselves, because I felt like that. So you ever say something stupid in conversation?
You just want to kill yourself? No, yeah. Well, you know, like I don't know. I think they feel it way worse.
Oh, dude,
they feel shame, dude. They're a very ashamed culture, the Japanese.
The amount of times I've been like, "Oh, dude, your special is really good," and they're like, "What?" They didn't hear. I'm like, oh, I thought your hour was really funny." And they're like, "Oh, thanks, man." I'm like, "Okay."
Just gonna cut my own guts out.
Fucking gut myself,
dude. Yeah, you call your teacher mom. Like, that's it for me.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna kill myself. I'm going to kill myself.
Someone hits you with a "What's up?" You say, "Good, how are you?"
Yeah.
Fucking yo, straight harikari.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. That happened to me the other day. I was on the other end of it, and I was like, "That was weird."
Someone just botched the conversation.
Yeah, I go, "What's up, man?" He goes, "Good, thanks." I go, "What the hell?"
You just don't accept any
I
empathy.
go, what the fuck?
Completely forget you there before you're
What
like,
the fuck was that?
why the fuck did you say that? Did you hear the
I
question?
know. That was
That'd
like
be
my
so
knee-jerk-
funny if you got mean. You're like, did you hear the question?
Yes,
You
stupid
answered
ass,
a total,
dumbass.
you answered a question I didn't ask.
You dumb fuck.
What are you talking to yourself?
You stupid doofus.
Oh my god, I'd be so embarrassed.
Obviously, I've been in that situation a billion times, but my knee jerk was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Why'd you say that?"
I was talking about how like when you're the other day when you're like hanging out in a group.
Yeah.
Like if you're at like a party or something, you're hanging out in a group and you're like, all right, I've been in this group for a little too long. Go check it out over there. Then you walk over there and over there sucks. And then you're like, it's too quick to return to the group.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You got to give that like 3-4 minutes, and then you come back and that group that was better dissolved at some point. And you're like, oh, I'm lost.
Yeah, I'm a big like, or if I join a group, like the second group I join, if they're if they're too deep in a conversation, like they're doing a bit, they're midway through a bit, I'm just like, ha 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 ha, yeah.
You know what I'll do? That's just maybe even more autistic. Is I'll just 180 out of there.
Yeah.
I go, I can't join this one. I'll just poke in.
No, that's freedom.
All right, see ya.
That's free. That's autistic freedom.
Yeah, I know. I think I do have a form of autistic
That's
liberation.
supreme gentleman behavior.
Because I know that if someone did that to my conversation and they left, I would never mention it.
No.
If I saw them for 4 seconds and they were like left, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't really hold on to it. I'd just keep engaging in the conversation I'm like already into.
Like open mic comedians have the most glaring form of autism I've ever seen because we all have like awkward things that we do in social settings that you're like kind of embarrassed of, but you're like you said, nobody really realizes it.
Yeah.
Except if it's like a guy who's been doing open mics for 3 months, he'll just walk up to the circle and go.
He's leering.
He'll just stare silently.
It sucks. It's like almost like he's also in the open mic stages of speaking to other comedians.
Yeah.
So he has to like bomb at that for a long time.
He's in the open mic stages of being out of the house.
Yeah, I know.
Of being a part of society at all.
Yeah.
I feel like these guys have just been like in a basement somewhere playing RuneScape or something.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah, it's
because if
bad.
he was like a social, if he had like a corporate job that he was like a hoot at the luncheon, then he would be able to handle a fucking green room.
Yeah, and I'm also like, I'm very like people pleasery, so I don't want that guy to feel uncomfortable. So I'm always like, "What's your name, dude? What's going on? You a comic?" He goes, "My name's Jeffrey, and yes, I am a comic."
I've been doing it for 4 months. I moved here from Indianapolis just for this club.
Yeah, I heard about Austin, and people were talking about that it was good, and I knew it was far away from where I grew up in Oregon, but I decided to come down. And so far, it's been tough, I'll be honest. But it seems that there are a lot of opportunities here.
You know what's even worse? That guy who's stoked.
Yeah.
That same personality, but he's like, I think I found my people. And you're like,
yes.
Oh,
yes, that's brutal.
Oh, God.
Brutal.
Yeah, there's a lot of like-minded guys.
I felt uncomfortable around different types of people, but with fellow comedians, you really start to get the conversation is more natural, and you feel like you have more common ground.
Yeah, meanwhile, he's staring at his shoes, and he's talking about the conversation being more natural.
Yeah, you're like, bro, stop.
You're like, what has the conversation ever been natural for you?
Dude. Or I'll be like, hey, buddy, we met before, right? And the guy's like, yeah, it was 2.5 weeks ago at a show at the Creek in the Cave on a Tuesday night. I'm like, okay.
With 837.
Yeah, he like knows every detail.
You're like, holy shit.
I'm like,
holy hell.
It's this
and
weird...
then he goes, big fan of the podcast.
Yeah, yes. He's definitely a weakling, dude. I met some weaklings in the wild, you could tell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're fully tizzed out.
Yeah.
Shout out to the boys.
Yeah. Shouts motherfucking out.
Wagwan, weaklings.
Wagwan,
weaklings. Wagwan to the supreme gentleman.
Welcome.
And all the baby mothers.
Baby mother.
Yeah, definitely a fan of definitely a severely autistic guy who doesn't love the podcast.
Do you think I know we're in the 1% of being judgmental, but do you ever like think about it that way? Like, everyone says like no one cares and no one remembers you. No one thinks it's about you as much as you do, and then you think about how much you think about other people, and you're like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
You're like, I was talking about Joe Jags with that. He's like, you ever think like, I don't know, dude. I'm thinking about it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I hyper analyze and brutally criticize almost everything everybody I know does.
I know, it's fucking horrible.
This idea that like people don't think about you that much.
Sort
it's
of
like,
a brutal disposition to have.
I have the opposite where I go, imagine if this guy knew how much I think about.
I know. God.
It's just like it's an acquaintance, and he does 4 things that plague my mind with how much they bother me.
Because I can't. That's like my natural like instinct. Then I have to go the other way. I go, stop. What are you giving this guy so much brain space for?
Yeah.
You're being, like, stupid. Like, it's
why does
stupid
this guy bother you?
Why does it bother you so much?
Yeah.
It's really just rooted in your own insecurity.
Yeah, probably.
Because you go, if I did that, I'd kill myself. And it's like, that's weird, too. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because you're judging them so harshly because you're imagining, if I did that, what would I think of myself?
Yeah, sometimes I also get on my, like, sometimes it's like someone who's doing well and they're doing something I think is gay, and I hate that that's why they're doing well.
Yeah.
But part of it is, like, I almost don't have the stones to do something as gay as them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have the balls to be this lame.
Yeah.
Like, I fear judgment.
Too much.
There's a line.
But there's
a balance.
The people you're talking about they're oblivious. They're not, like, battling through some kind of mental thing of where, oh, I'm being judged. I need to, like, just stick through it or something like that. I just don't think they give it much, like, license in their brains.
Yeah, but how many guys with zero self-awareness have just cornballed their way to the top?
So many.
I know.
There's a huge advantage to oblivion in, like, everything.
I know.
Yeah, of course.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But if you're, like, oblivious and you're, like, smart, then you become, like, a kind of, like, savant genius. If you're this kind of quirky guy, he's wearing 2 different shoes and he doesn't even know where he is, but he's, like, an excellent something.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, what an auteur, you know. You're like, wow, what an eccentric genius.
Yeah, that's like
It's a fine
Kanye or
line.
like Elon or something like that.
Yeah, someone who's, like, weird as shit and openly just bizarre, and they can't really help it. Then you're like, wow, that guy he's, like, on a different wavelength.
Yeah.
You know, that's your thought about him. But if that same guy, that same personality is stupid, then you're like, what an unbearable retard.
Yes. Yeah.
It's all like, it's like how much I respect what they do. Based.
As with all things right now, the real problem is tech. Because in a different time, those oblivious retards with different shoes would, like, put out one odd but brilliant piece of art out of nowhere, and you'd be like, what is this? This is crazy.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like,
it's Steve
Wozniak,
Wozniak, like, inventing a mouse or something or whatever he did, you know.
Yeah, and
I'm
now
pretty sure he, like, revolutionized, like, cursors, and you're like, wow.
Now our version of that is like Jojo Siwa.
Yeah.
Because of
just
the
fully,
content
like,
cycle.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, yeah. Dude, she's awesome. I love Jojo Siwa.
Of course you do.
I love Jojo Siwa. She makes me laugh so fucking hard, dude. She kills me. Did I tell you what fucking Gardini and Heather and Patrick, I don't know if you know Heather and Patrick, they're other comics, but they were giving me so much shit in a green room the other day.
For liking Jojo Siwa?
No, they were making fun of me because I was getting autistic about Super Smash Brothers and I was beating everyone. And I did my set and I came back and I was, like, ready to play more Super Smash Brothers. And I was like, all right, who wants to get their ass beat or something like that? And then Heather goes, who wants to get their ass beat? Who wants to get their ass beat? And they just kept repeating everything I would say in that voice. Patrick, Sean, and Heather. Like, in the back of the room. I'm like, do you guys want to play again? Yeah, play again. Dude, all night. All fucking night they were doing that to me.
I'm so fucking jealous I wasn't there for this.
And then eventually it turned into, like, Jojo Siwa's voice where they're going, dream guest on my podcast. Probably Christoph Jean. And then the joke became Christoph used to date Jojo Siwa. Like, Jojo Siwa is my ex. And then Sean's like, how's your ex, Jojo?
Dude, was it weird to fall out of love with Jojo?
I mean, now that she's, like, come out as gay, is that, like, weird to you that she's your ex?
Yeah. Are you going to change your name back to Jean from Christoph Siwa?
Yeah, dude, he's just giving me shit like that all night. I do love Jojo Siwa. Dude, she's dressed up like a construction worker and has, like, a fucking weird fade and is, like, dancing extremely hard.
Yeah, that's what our autistic people do.
Yeah, that's what they do now.
They used
but
to,
she's been filmed since she was, like, an infant. Like, she's gonna die of a fentanyl overdose.
Yeah?
I mean, inshallah, she does not, but I think she will. Because she's like Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
She's, like, fully, like, you know, River Phoenix.
Yeah, it almost never ends well, right?
No, child star is almost always horrible.
Leo.
Leo's probably the best.
He's in this.
But even him was like, I saw, like, an old video of him. It's like an old woman. I forget, it was like an older actress, like, kissing him, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
I forgot who it was. It was like someone famous, or it might have been, I don't remember. But there's, like, some old video of him, like, being, like, loved on a little bit much as, like, a 13-year-old boy. And you're like,
you also know he's like those models. He's chaining them to the ceiling of his basement.
You think so?
For sure.
I heard he puts on headphones and vapes when he has sex.
That's even weirder.
That's fucking sick.
Dude, of course you love that. Of course you love a guy that found a way. A guy that found a way to have sex with a person, but somehow make it a singular experience. That's so perfectly you to love a guy who figured out how to have one man sex.
Is that not cool as hell? Dude. If you were banging like 20-year-old models and you're like, yeah, I vape and have headphones in, I'd be like, yo, that's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
That's so sick.
No, I do not.
I'm like, what is he listening to?
Dude.
That's awesome. You're telling me that's not cool as hell?
This has got to be the lowest form of intimacy that's ever existed.
Yeah, what's cooler? Making love? I'm gonna make love to my age-appropriate wife.
No, you want to vape fuck a 20-year-old?
How cool would that be? Look, it's never gonna happen to me, so it's like, it's just, you know, you have a guy, you go, man, he's fucking swinging.
I love the idea of like.
I'm just kidding. I love intimacy.
I love the idea of like your lady, like you could do it. It's your birthday. We're gonna do any. Christoph, we're gonna do any fantasy you want, and you just grab like a gamer headset. You're like 1 second, strawberry blast.
It's all techno. It's just Darude by Sandstorm on a loop. Make it harder. Do it. Makes us. No,
That's
dude,
so
I actually
weird.
love intimate eye contact. I mean, it's hard for me to admit because it's vulnerable. But of course, I like that kind of sex. It's not funny and fun though. It's funner to vape and have headphones in. I get that he's like a lizard. I understand that he's a freak lizard, but a part of me is like, dude, that's like kind of hilarious.
It also
having that much power is like kind of like awe-inspiring.
Yeah,
you go, he could do whatever he wants.
Well, it's also such a guy move.
Oh yeah,
there's no powerful lady who's vaping with her headphones on during sex.
Yeah, what does a powerful woman do sexually? Like ride them. That's in every movie. Every movie when you want to be like, she's the boss bitch and she's like taking control of the sexual situation is that she's on top. Then that's about it.
Yeah.
And she's like, don't move.
I think
I'm going to get my cum and leave.
I think that's some stupid fucking Hollywood exec lady thinking that that's cool, but in real life, the actual exec who co-signed on that scene likes to be fucking tossed around.
Yeah, probably. I mean, everybody likes whatever. I mean, everybody likes different whatever.
Yeah.
I think also there is sometimes like a yin and yang to some people's lives. You
like
know?
They're different sexually than they are in real life?
They have like a 180 sexually because they're so the other way, and you know that's what's erotic about it.
Yeah, I always
some
feel
guy
like,
who's like an intense like dominant figure probably likes to be fucking dominatrixed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I knew a lady that worked at a sex dungeon, and she said that it was a lot of Hasidic Jews coming in to get like their balls stepped on.
Right, because they have a wife at home who's like their pet.
Yes.
Who they tell what to do, whatever, and she's like, I want to do whatever you say, Shlo. Yeah. Whatever you say, go, Shlo.
I guess, you know, it's my night off. It's, if you wouldn't mind putting my cock in a vice, it would be just lovely.
Just kick me in my schmuggles. Use your high heels and step on my schmuggles. And you're like, yeah, I guess that makes sense because he's so the other way. He's used to just, you know, being a landlord and bossing his wife around. He wants to get kicked in the ass. He wants to get pegged and fucking spit on.
Well, I've been a bad boy.
I've been a horrible little boy.
I took a phone call on the Sabbath. It looks like you need to shove something up my rectum, unfortunately.
That'd be funny. He's like, please no vibrators. It is the Sabbath. I can't use anything electric. We have to peg me by candlelight.
Keep it between us. But as you know, it's the Sabbath, and I actually used a toaster to toast my bagel today. So if you'd like to, please kick my ass.
That's their form of Catholic confession. Is just going to What do you think of confession? Do you think it's a good move? I've heard a lot of like my Protestant friends, my Proddy friends, be like, dude, that's gay. You're telling another man your problems.
That's a funny take. I've never heard someone call it gay.
Between you and God.
Yeah,
that's I mean, fucking gay. You have to get a man to talk to God for you. That's gay.
Well, I think it's weird to go to the. I wouldn't like the power that the priest has over me.
Yeah, of course.
I got to go to him to tell my deepest, darkest secrets.
He's a clergy.
Pisses me off. That would drive me nuts. I do not like that.
I like the absolution of it. I like the fucking like it's now it's yours. I like that part.
Yeah, that's also not the way the world
because it's such
works.
a Catholic guilt shamey thing that you can, fucking transfer it over to someone else.
Yeah, that
is actually very useful.
It's so Catholic
to the Catholic mentality
to do something wrong, feel deep shame about it, and then dump it upon another person.
Yeah, and then be absolved of your guilt.
It's so Catholic.
Yeah,
dude.
but I like that they have a system for that rather than like your friends and family. You know what I mean? Then you're just this guy who's like, I did something bad. I'm just a bad boy. You can go to a Catholic priest and hopefully he doesn't judge you.
I'm a big fan of just shake it off. I'm a big shake.
There's no shake. I don't even believe in shaking things off.
Really? I feel like that's how I deal with most issues.
Yeah.
Just shake it off.
You can tell. You're full of anger and resentment. You're not shaking anything off. You're pushing it down. I'm not saying I'm not guilty of that as well. But I'm saying you don't shake anything. You're fucking... Your stomach's in knots 24/7.
I'm like, yeah, I just shake it off.
I just shake it off. I just drink 6 IPAs.
Screaming in traffic
Yeah,
on the way
you're screaming.
Here.
You're like drinking.
Yeah.
Not anymore. You haven't drank in a long time. Are you still, what do you have, 50 days or something crazy?
Something like that,
Jesus, criminy. I've been like cutting back a lot, and it's pretty great.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really drink this week. I had like 1 or 2 beers every now and again. I'm like, nice.
I mean, it was the source of pretty much all my problems. It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good for you.
Yeah, I mean...
Are you going to be a sober guy now, dude?
I don't know.
Oh, my God.
I don't know. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say
Are you going to, like, drink on Christmas?
I have no idea. I feel good right now. I'm not changing it. But I don't want to be a sober guy. I think the 12-step thing's gay and weird and culty.
Really?
Oh,
Why?
I have a friend who's a big 12-step guy. He pisses me the fuck off. It's something about it is so deeply condescending.
Okay.
It's like condescending cult shit. He's always like, "How you doing, man? Like, if you thought about getting sober, I know it's always been something you struggled with." And I'm like,
says that to
I
you?
never fucking told. Like,
Oh, that's
what do you mean
stupid.
it's something I struggled?
He's
with?
like proselytizing. Like, he'll fuck himself.
Yeah, he's
That's
also
one bad guy, though.
He's also like, but I've met a couple guys like this. They're afraid to say something mean or wrong or like critical. They're like indoctrinated, and they think that they for real actually solved everything wrong with their personality by going through these 12 steps. Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
It's born again Christian shit.
It's religion.
Yeah. I'm like, you still have a bunch of like things that I don't like about you,
Right.
And
it's
you
a
don't
religion that the main tenet is no booze.
Yeah,
is sobriety and then God. It's like sobriety, God. That's basically, and then everything else kind of falls underneath.
Yeah, you don't get to shed your shitty personality attributes like a snake skin because you went through this fucking weird cult of a program.
And then you had to like apologize to everyone and whatever they do.
I want to keep it as basic as possible of like, I was drinking too much, not drinking right now, feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't want to identify as sober.
Yeah,
I don't want to like get a chip. I don't want to have an app with a number. I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
I'm counting because it's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I don't want to villainize
anyone who's drinking.
Or I don't want to villainize anyone who's drinking. I don't want to villainize myself in the future if I want to have a drink.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I don't like the relapse thing.
I think you're just growing. I think that's what always happens. You just kind of grow up and then you moderate.
Yes.
That's what most people who don't have alcoholism do.
Right now, my current system of not drinking is going great. But if I decide to have some drinks, I don't want to like...
Do you think you're going to drink? Do you ever wonder if you drink, you're just going to get right back to like drinking all the time?
I don't know. I don't miss drinking downtown.
No.
I don't miss doing it at all associated with shows. I miss the good tasting stuff. I miss red wine and like scotch and IPAs.
Yeah.
Like the really tasty, relaxing
Yeah, I like
stuff.
that. Dude, I'm fucking cold Miller High Life watching a movie last night. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's fucking
I don't miss
incredible.
like 13 Miller High Lifes in 2.5 hours.
No. And you're at some bar.
Yeah.
That's not even a fun one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
don't
realized
miss that.
Dude, there's so many shitty places that we go to do stand-up that I realized I was just boozing to kill the time and make it less frustrating to be there.
Dude, a buddy of mine, he's like not drinking right now, and he was talking about like he had to do like a late show. He had to do like a midnight Saturday, and he's like, this is going to be really hard.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just going to have to be here. And I'm like, yeah, that's the best part of alcohol.
Yeah.
It's like one of the best parts. And David Jolly said a similar thing.
Yeah.
He was talking to me about like why he was drinking. I think he said it on the podcast. I don't remember, but he was basically saying like, bro, I drank all the time partially because I had to be around people all the time.
Yeah.
And now I'm just not as social.
Dude, I did that show.
Dude, yeah.
That show we did Friday or Saturday, whenever Adam Lucky's show. It was an 11 o'clock show. Adam's very generous with the spots, so he gave a few of us a guest spot. Mm-hmm. But, I'm a guest spot, so I'm going later in the show. Man, I got there at like 10:50. I didn't go up till like 12:40. Dude, we're talking nearly 2 hours, like a decently long movie's worth of just white knuckling.
You wanted one bad?
Just to fucking pass, just to tune out a little bit.
Yeah, no, it tunes you out, it numbs you up.
Tunes out, yeah.
That's like why Nietzsche hated it so much.
Booze?
That's why he was like against it.
Because he thought you were like disconnected?
Yeah, he was basically an advocate for the full feeling like your emotions fully.
Yeah.
And like working through them rather than like using things to repress them.
Yeah, that's a weird thing, is like the numbing
aspect, yeah.
The foggy brain. I was just that's
You're operating at like 7 out of 10 at best.
At best.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's like
I'm trying to think of when I'll get hammered.
It's like I'm in too much pain to not have the most basic takeaway from whatever's going on.
What do you mean?
Like I'm too hungover.
Oh yeah.
Or
to think.
Yes.
Yeah, it sucks.
Like I'm literally incapable of thinking critically.
Yeah.
I can only go, the car's red. Like that's all I can do.
It's like this like white noise in your head.
Yes.
I'll have a heavy weekend. You get drunk twice, and then it takes for me till Thursday to be cognitively normal.
Yeah.
And I haven't drank in like 4 days. That's what happened at my cousin's wedding. I got trashed like 2 days in a row, and then I was like, dude, I like am dumber for the next like 72 hours.
I know, dude.
Yeah, that's the worst aspect, especially what we're doing. Like, I just am better at everything. I'm way better at stand-up when I'm not drinking.
Dude, I'm way better. I moved to the middle of Texas. I'm just going to get hammered.
Yeah.
I live in Texas. I would have never lived. Not that I have a problem with Texas.
Yeah.
Shout out Texas. But, like, I moved to Central Texas to do this, and I'm just going to get
drinking away.
Up.
Yeah.
Crazy move.
Yeah.
Insane decision.
Of course. I dealt with, like, anxiety of, like, being new places with booze. Like, that's what I did in New York, and then that's what I would do on visits here, too.
Yeah.
Not knowing anyone. You were with me. I got hammered, like, we had a long visit. It was, like, 10 days. I think I got drunk, like, 6 times.
The first time we came?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
were
like
trashed
wasted the entire time.
I was trashed. Because I was, like, new, because I didn't know anyone. So I got scared, and I had my little bottle. It's like Jesus.
That is the thing. You're better on stage, but I'm better on stage and worse off stage.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But once I'm comfortable enough, now that I'm comfortable enough, I know that means I'm happier because I don't have the urge to drink as much. Whereas in New York, I wanted to drink all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like just baseline level happier here, so I don't feel the need to drink.
But I do think when I'm drunk, I'm kind of the man.
Yeah, we're all good drunks.
Yeah. I can really get in the mix.
Yeah. Do you know the face you make when you get drunk?
No. Like this?
Yep.
That's my dad, dude.
You squint and you kind of...
Bro, that's my dad.
Smile,
that's
like
crazy.
toothless smile.
This is my father. This looks like him every time he got drunk. Damn. That sucks. Fuck. I've seen him make that face so many times.
And then Joe Jackson's is his face when he gets drunk.
Oh, yeah, he looks through.
He can't hold up his head and he looks up. He's like, hello. He's like Kubrick King. He's like, hello. And I know Joe's hammered. I meet up with him later in the night. I'll have worked and he'll have like hung out and done shows, and I'll meet up with him and he'll be like, hey, what's up, buddy? And I'm like, oh, you're trashed.
I started getting good at telling when people are on blow.
Oh, yeah?
I could tell.
Nice.
It's weird. I could tell. I never would have thought I would be able to tell.
If you were drinking, you wouldn't really notice?
No, but...
this is why people hate sober people.
Yeah.
Because of this levels of perception.
Yeah,
because they're perceived too much. I hate being trash, and you see a guy's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Oh, fuck you."
Yeah.
You fucking suck.
Yeah, for sure.
There's some old bit was like, "What are you, a stenographer?" You know,
yeah.
So I forget whose bit
Burr.
It
That
might
sounds
be
like Burr.
It might be Burr just being hammered around a sober person. He's just gonna remember everything, and you're like, "Dude, fuck this guy."
Yeah.
I think it might be Ron White. I don't remember. A stenographer. But yeah, dude, I don't like running into like the sober person.
No.
Except certain people I know are like non-judgmental. Like Jimmy Moynihan's a sober guy, and I know he's not going to think anything of me. Like I know he's just used to it, or he doesn't really behave that much differently.
I also don't have that.
And I know him well enough to be like,
I don't have that thing. I don't know what that is. This is another reason I don't like these fucking 12-step people, or these AA people. A couple of my buddies were like, dude, you're going to see how fucking dumb and annoying drunk people act. Has not happened at all. I'd go, they're having a wonderful time.
You can also like completely compartmentalize
awesome.
it.
What do you? No, it just looks awesome.
Or contextualize it.
Yeah,
it's like shit. Yeah, they're drunk. I'm
Yeah.
not an idiot. Do you think I'm going to be like, I can't believe they behave this way?
Yeah,
It's like I was just drunk. I just did that. I know what that's like. I'm not. I have that level of empathy. I can understand.
I don't even.
I'm not going to hang out with them for 4 hours.
I like don't even think it's dumb. I actually don't even. I don't
Yeah.
even. No, I'm just like, it looks fun.
Yeah, they're uninhibited.
They're having a good time.
Yeah, but drunk people do the dumbest shit in the world.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. You got to be a real retard or
Yeah.
like 22.
Yeah.
But like the people my 32-year-old friends when they're drunk, I'm not like, look at these fools.
Yeah, of course.
Wow. Imbeciles.
Yeah.
I've never thought that at all.
Yeah.
No. I'm like, they're having fun.
Right.
Literally, they're just talking more freely than I am.
Right.
And
For the most part.
they're
If more
slurring a word
seasoned-
here and there.
Yeah, and they're more seasoned and they're not like obliterated.
Yeah.
They had like 4 or 5 beers and they're just loose and having fun.
I meet sober people all the time who are dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
Everybody's a retard. I
Yeah.
meet dumb people constantly. It has nothing to do with alcohol.
Yeah. I think some people are worse. You do. There is like a Jekyll Hyde person.
Yeah.
I hate those people.
Yeah,
The
that
mean
that
guy.
sucks.
A mean guy. You're like, are you being mean right now? It's almost like embarrassing.
Yeah, it's what 14.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's not even
Were
like
you like
that.
an
It's
eighth grade
What are you
bully?
like a father in the 50s?
Yeah.
Like, do you not are you this dumb that you don't understand you're being an asshole?
Yeah.
But you still love getting hammered for some inexplicable reason? It like doesn't even make sense. Like, you're not drunk enough to forget this, so you're not blacked out. You're just a crabby asshole, and you're pretty normal when you're sober. So
Yeah.
like, just think about this logically.
That's like something buried in them.
Yeah.
They're kind of an asshole deep down.
Normally, and then
they're
yeah,
pissed off, and they're
all the
like
time,
really
and then
not letting it out.
Yeah, they let themselves be pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely had like, you get more like weirdly like, it's like kind of what Casey was saying about like betrayal. There's like a weird sensitivity that comes up when you're like hammered.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck, dude? Like you get like kind of pissy sometimes.
Yeah.
At least I do sometimes. Pretty rarely though.
I hate when I feel sorry for myself. It's so
yeah.
fucking gay.
Oh, that's the worst.
Get over it.
Yeah.
Get over it.
What are you doing?
Man, it's all fucked, man.
Everything sucks, dude.
It's like that has nothing to do with the fact that you're wasting 6 hours at the end of every day.
Or that you're currently hammered.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, no shit. It's like, yeah, you're being an emotional wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been just trying to moderate. I'm trying to like, I don't know. I do want like a good reason to get drunk next time I get drunk, you know?
Yeah.
Because I definitely got drunk here when I first got here just because like, oh, I first got here.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was sleeping on Jake's couch. You know, it was like less serious, it felt like.
College-y.
Yeah, it's college-ish.
Yeah.
And now I'm working all the time and doing a lot more comedy. So I'm like, I can't really do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I just can't. I can't do it.
Yeah, it's I'm not. I don't know. I mean, I can't. I was convincing myself that like I'm just gonna be one of these guys who like like makes it as a comic who's like a drinker.
Yeah,
I'm like the drinking funny guy, and I'm like, no, I think that will not happen.
Most everyone can't really do it.
No.
Like, yeah, there's the functional alcoholics is a rare.
Yeah,
it's kind of a rare thing. For whatever reason.
No.
And even then, you're like, if you weren't drinking, would you be doing better? I was just thinking about my grandpa. Like, he not that he was a huge drinker, but he liked to drink.
Yeah.
You know? And you're like wondering, like, how would his life have been different? And he definitely, when he would get hammered, he would always just tell me, like, sad stories.
That's very Asian salaryman.
Yeah, he was fully salarymanning. And he was like a painter, and I think his paintings are, like, brilliant. And once he was drinking, and I asked him, Grandpa, why'd you stop painting? Because there was a certain point in his life where he just gave up painting. And then I go, why'd you stop painting? And he said, I wasn't getting better. So I started to not like it anymore.
Oh my God, that's so depressing.
I was like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, you took no personal joy other than achievement and getting better? Like, you couldn't just, like, paint for the love of painting? Like, it just didn't even register to him. He was like, yeah, I was getting worse, or I was just, like, mediocre still, I thought, and then I just quit.
Painting's an interesting thing to notice that you're not improving at.
Yeah.
If you're already good. I wonder how he knew he wasn't improving anymore.
It's completely in his head.
Yeah.
There's no way. Because also a lot of his paintings are abstract. So his paintings are just like a blue dot and like a streak and like a thing.
Yeah.
Not that he's incapable of, like, he's capable of painting like beautiful, perfect portraits. Like, he's not like unskilled that way. Like, he has oil paintings that blow my mind. but he also has things that are just like a black dot and like a blue streak, And I'm like, why is this? How are you looking at that and going, yeah, it's not good?
Have you heard that the theory that Jackson Pollock was like a CIA operative?
Yeah, I did hear that.
Interesting, huh?
I think the idea was like I think what it was something like they boosted up. I don't think he did that like all through the guidance of the CIA. I think he was already just an odd abstract painter, and they're like, we're gonna make you famous.
Yeah.
To like, what's it called? To like undermine like political art.
What is like, not to confuse, to like
to obfuscate.
Yeah, like to make everybody just
to pay less attention to
make everybody go crazy. Kind of.
It's kind of like you look at like Warhol. Well, it's like I think it's more like it's not even to make people crazy. It was just like to make something popular instead of something else. Yeah. That way, like now splatters are popular rather than like something that might have like an anti-war message or like an anti-capitalist message.
Yeah, like whatever their version of Banksy was.
Or something like that. Yeah. Whereas you look at like there's a lot of like popular art from back then, like modern art that gets this like whatever that gets this crap or whatever, and you're like, I guess so. I don't know. I hate these people that are like modern art. A 4-year-old could do that. Rothko. Like you don't know anything about what you're talking about. There's no way you're an art historian coming to this conclusion.
Yeah, but what do you think is so great about modern art? Like, why is it?
I just think certain things are beautiful and they inspire awe in me, and they like are just incredible. Like the one that everyone gets shit about is like Rothko, but like Rothko's paintings are like they're bigger than this room. So first of all, they're meant to be seen in person, and they're like like I saw one at a museum. It's huge. Yeah, it's like the size of a museum room, and the way he did it was like it was so he hand painted it, and it was like so perfectly even. Like it's like unbelievable. You can't. It's like beyond human.
Okay, well that's. I think the problem.
So it's awe inspiring. It's like it'll literally just be orange and black. And I think the whole point is, like, you don't have to have something. I mean, it's all subjective, of course. And I think that's what really was the message of modern art, was subjectivity. It was, like, postmodernism in the sense it's like you derive meaning personally.
Yeah, but don't you think, like, anything that entertains you or that you love, any form of art or entertainment, part of it in the back of my head is going, I can't believe someone made this.
No.
Really? No. Like that level of wonder, I feel that way about.
That's one way to appreciate one piece of art versus another piece of art.
Yeah, but it's sprinkled into my appreciation of anything I like, basketball or boxing or a movie or music or comedy or anything. Right. I go, wow, like part of it is the magic trick of man, how is a human being capable of that?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's just cool, and that's a certain part of things, but it's not everything, and I don't think everything applies that way. Like, there's things like, you see a funny fucking meme or whatever, it makes me laugh really hard. I'm not awe-inspired. I just think it's funny. I just like it. Or I just find things beautiful. Like a landscape, like, literally visually seeing like a beautiful vista, you're not like, wow, I couldn't do this. It has nothing to do with that. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, but when I see a beautiful landscape, I go, I can't believe this exists. It's still like, it's surreal. Something that's so great that it's surreal.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I just think there is a level of like, it doesn't have to do that for it to be good. I don't think that's a prerequisite for something being good.
I don't think good, fine, but for me to enjoy something, I can't.
That's what I mean, for it to be enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like when Louis talks about sitting on a cock because I'm gay.
Yeah,
it's like it's not good,
but it's funny,
but it's hilarious.
Yeah,
it's actually like kind of bad, but I still like it for whatever reason. I just like it.
Yeah, but that's like ironic humor.
That's what Ricky Gervais says. You're doing it ironically, and Louis like, no, I just like it. I don't think it's ironic.
I love Louis. I'm not trying to disagree with him. I think it's ironic.
Maybe, but but you can't even tell that. But you're not like cognitively doing that necessarily. You just kind of knee jerk like things. Yeah. I also think like, there's like funny modern art. There's one that's like, it's like Lobster Telephone, pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm
just saying, like,
get
there's
into
an
that.
absurdist thing.
I just think it'd be hard for me to find.
Duchamp just, like, once he just put in a toilet, he just brought a toilet, and he's like, this is my art, it's a toilet.
Well, that's funny.
I know, but so there's funniness to it, or there's, like, even if it's just, like, strange shapes that you think, oh, I could paint that, like, that's not what's important about it. The importance is the meaning you derive from it. That's the point of a lot of modern art.
I think it'd be hard for me to derive meaning from something that looked like a 5th grader could do it.
Why?
Because I don't think
Picasso painted like a 5th grader all the time. He has that famous quote. He goes, "It took me 14 years to paint like a man. It took me 50 to paint like a child."
Yeah,
the seriousness of a child at play is what I aspire to. Friedrich Nietzsche.
Yeah,
childish things that are not displaying virtuosity doesn't make them bad. Virtuosity is not a prerequisite for goodness.
I don't need it to be virtuous, but part of me needs to be awestruck by the fact that a human being created.
Yeah, but I think that's just like a surface level thing. I think all like at someone's skill is like, it's cool. I think there's a lot of shit that sucks and someone's amazing. Like there's so many guitar players online who are like, wow, what an incredible guitar player. That solo was abysmal. I hated it. And then someone will play 4 chords and you're like, this is beautiful.
But that's a
Bob Dylan can't sing. So I'm just like, there's a million like.
I love Bob Dylan's voice.
I know, but he's not a good singer. He's not a classically trained good singer. There's no virtue in his singing.
Yeah, but I think it sounds wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
But
you derive meaning from it. You think, even though he's not classically good, you're not going, I can't believe a human can sing like that. You're just going, wow, I like this Bob Dylan song.
But I don't think anybody could just make Bob Dylan's music.
Exactly. But
that's why
anyone can sing like him.
But I think anybody could paint a lot of these modern art paintings.
You go paint one.
I'm not interested.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but I have the skill set to do it. I don't think people have the ear Bob Dylan has.
Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Maybe you paint something abstract and a bunch of art critics look at it and go, "That's trash. It's garbage." And they have some knowledge. They have like art history. They have like context.
I think
context matters a lot.
I think you could placebo a lot of modern art critics.
No, I'm not. Maybe I don't know. I'm just saying like. I just think that's a tired opinion.
I mean, I'm not that passionate about it.
I know, but
I'm
just
not
saying,
impressive.
I just don't like people who aren't open-minded enough to like give it a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to shut it down.
Something has to be good. Like a detailed painting of a horse, I think is so fucking boring.
But in Buffalo, we have one of the best modern art museums in the country, the Albright Knox. Mm-hmm. I've been there. I didn't go in being like, fuck this shit. I went there being like, this is one of the only cool things we have.
Yeah.
And I still was like, it's just...
You don't have to like it, but my point is it's not bad because a child could do it.
It's hard to say that
it boils down to taste and subjectivity. I understand that much, but I find the opinion of it looks simple, so I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean...
there's so many things that are simple and amazing.
It's not that it's simple. It's just that by nature, I can't... it doesn't elicit any awe from me.
Yeah, but then we're kind of talking in circles. My point is like, why does something have to elicit awe for it to be good? Awe and art are not one and the same. Things can be hideous. Things can be ugly and awful and be great. It's not really awe-inspiring. You're not like, wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's literally like the most gory, disgusting thing you've ever seen, and you're like, wow, what a brilliant piece
I guess it's just hard for me to believe that it's like this really inspired work.
I think subjectively they are inspired. I don't think they're like pulling a fast one. I don't think they're all in on this like conspiracy to like make, for it to be stupid on purpose.
You don't think a lot of them are like self-indulgent rich kids though?
Self-indulgent rich kids do everything. Self-indulgent rich kids, the Strokes are self-indulgent rich kids.
Yeah, but their stuff sounds good.
To you. I mean, I'm just saying like there's a subjectivity involved.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying too. I don't have any problem with anybody else liking it, but it takes me out of it. The fact that it looks like a 9-year-old drew it.
I mean, I guess that's fine.
You're the one who's annoyed by this.
I just don't like it. I just think it's a lazy take.
It's not a take, it's a feeling.
Yeah, but then maybe investigate the feeling for a while and figure out.
I can't make myself like it.
You can make yourself like things.
That's crazy. I cannot.
You can make yourself like things.
I can promise you.
The first time you had a fucking shot of whiskey where you're like, yummy.
It's not. Something can grow on me, but I can't force myself to like things.
Well, how do you make it grow on you? You try it over and over again.
I think there's some things that won't grow on me. Tomatoes have never grown on me. They have not. And I think modern art's one of those things. Some of it. I don't think it's going to grow on me. This seems to really bother you that I don't like it.
I'm just making a point.
I think it does. This is very like religious of you.
It's not religious.
It's religious.
It is not religious.
Well, I have no problem with you liking the square orange block paintings or whatever you got going on.
I have no problem. Look, I'm just trying to tell you your points are stupid.
This is why
I'm not trying to tell you that.
This is bothering you.
I'm not trying to tell you. I'm not saying you have to like modern art, but saying you don't like modern art is a bit like saying I don't like jazz. And it's like there's jazz music you like. You just haven't found it yet. Modern art is this massive movement. It's not like
I wouldn't generalize
maybe
that
abstract art, but even that is still just so vague. Like there's gonna be something that takes your breath away for whatever reason. If you just go to the right museum and see the right shit.
I don't know enough about modern art to say that I dislike it as a genre. I'm just saying I've been to a very famous, well-funded modern art gallery, and I thought a lot of it was just like dumb. I didn't understand. I didn't understand why it was hung in there.
Yeah.
I'm like this. Some stuff was sick,
right?
But some stuff I'm like,
doesn't that come down to your lack of understanding?
No, I think it's a taste. I think I don't.
You said I don't understand why people like this.
I get no feeling from the giant yellow block on the wall. It's a yellow square. It doesn't bring anything out of me. Yeah, it's a yellow square.
All right,
I don't think I'm not tapping into.
We can put it to bed. We can put it to bed.
I don't think I'm not tapping into something deeper.
Weeklings, let Luke know what's up.
How many of the Weeklings do you think like?
I'm just trying to make a point here.
Who's the guy who poured Basquiat? Didn't he pour fucking white paint all over a stack of tires?
Yeah, but he was probably making some point. You could probably contextualize that. I don't know anything about that. But Basquiat rules.
Yeah.
His stuff is sick.
Look, dude.
Basquiat's awesome. You don't like Basquiat?
I don't know enough about Basquiat.
His stuff is crazy. It's awesome.
I might like it.
It's sick as hell.
Okay.
They probably killed him.
Are you like are you doing modern art paintings in secret and I don't know about it? You're very intimately tied to this issue.
Well, my grandfather was also a modern artist, so maybe it's close to home.
There you go.
He was Italian.
That's hey.
He was a wop. Hey. How does that make you feel?
Maybe I'll fucking change my mind.
Yeah. I mean, what I want to see is a photorealistic meatball.
I don't like
I want to see a basil plant in 4DX.
I don't like photorealistic stuff, but I mean, I went to like the Orsay and I saw like classic impressionist stuff, like Monet's and Renoir's. That shit was sick.
Yeah, that's all cool. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I try to be open minded and like find the merit in a lot of things in terms of art.
Yeah, I mean,
especially like physical art.
Yeah,
because I don't know anything about it for the most part. And I'm just like, what is good? Like, well, let me see what is good. Why is this here? Let me find out why people like it before I just look at it and go, not for me.
I mean, what about like shitty pop music though? You think you could listen to it enough to find something good about it? There's certain pop music, dude. Have you listened?
But I've listened to a ton of pop music. I know what good pop music is to me, and I know what bad pop music is. So I have like actually quite a lot of knowledge about pop music.
Okay. So
it's not the same as going to one museum one time and going the same for me.
All right. I mean, I'll try out some more museums. I think if I was a
Have you been to MoMA?
No, I don't think I went to
There's like sick shit at MoMA.
I'm sure there was. There was sick shit at the Albright Knox. There was just a lot of stuff I thought was stupid.
Yeah, some stuff's stupid to you, sometimes not. But I'm saying don't write it off.
I'm not writing it. I'm writing off this. That
has to be. It has to somehow inspire awe in you based on like virtuosity. Like I can't believe a person did that. I just think is a bad point.
Okay.
All right, we'll leave it there.
Right. I mean, that's true with every other thing I like. Every other thing I like is I can't believe this exists or I can't believe someone did it. Whether it's a sunset or a jump shot or a left hook or a song or a movie or a TV show or a book, any other thing I consume, it's awe-inspiring in some way. I can't believe this exists. This is unbelievable.
I guess so. But I like a lot of things that are just like kind of like ambient music I really like, but I'm not like, wow, it's amazing. It doesn't inspire. It's not like confounding, but it's just like pretty.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, and it's like a droning synth. It's just like, oh my God, I like this. I just like it.
Yeah. But I think if I liked it, I would probably be kind of blown away by some aspect of it.
Why?
Because
why do you be blown away by everything?
That's just how I am.
Okay.
I mean, what do you like? I don't know.
It doesn't. No, it's okay.
Anything I like, I like pretty deeply. Everything I like. I mean, there's some stuff I'm like, this is okay. But if I'm really into something, yeah, I'm kind of blown away by it. Red Clay Strays, pretty blown away.
Red Clay Strays?
They're a band. Okay. Unreal. I just started listening to them.
What is it?
I guess it's like country, folk, Americana type stuff.
Yeah.
But the singer's incredible.
Yeah.
And they're great. Blown away.
Yeah, I know. You can give a million. I'm blown away by a lot of things too, but I don't know. I'm trying to let it go.
Okay, all right. Well, so we can't talk about modern art.
Yeah, I can't talk about modern art for 3.5 hours. We'll see, I guess. We'll see how much the Weeklings care. I can't imagine they give a fuck.
The Weeklings are definitely furious that we had this conversation
as long as we did. They're like, shut the fuck up, dude. Who gives a fuck? Luke went to a museum one time. Shut the fuck up. We get it. You have a liberal arts degree, Christoph. Shut the fuck up.
Dude. All right, dude.
We'll gay.
Dude, we'll change topics. How about RFK's bear story? RFK's bear story. You happy?
I didn't even really see too much of it other than him talking to Roseanne about it. That he hit it with his car and threw it in Central Park.
Yeah, dude.
Why does he keep admitting these things?
This is I don't know.
The worm. No one cares about the worm.
The worm.
Let it go.
Yeah.
I guess maybe no press is bad. What is it? All press is good press.
You know what I think it is? This is a two-sided thing. One of them is just confusing to me, which is how did this many weird things happen to the same guy?
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
It's definitely like rich guy Kennedy mode where you're like, your life is freaky. Why is your life so freaky?
Another crazy thing happened to him than my dad. It's like every month there's a new
there's
insane...
some bizarre... I heard he raped his maid. I heard that about him.
Well, that's believable.
Or not his maid, like his babysitter.
Yeah.
Or something bad, like his nanny.
Well, he got accused of some type of sexual assault, and he was like, I was a wild boy when I was young.
Really?
Yeah, he literally was like, I was a little crazy. I'm not going to, sometimes I kind of got off the rails,
Wow.
That was literally like his justification
Holy
for it.
Shit.
It was nuts.
That's
he didn't
insane.
He didn't confirm or deny, and he didn't attack the accuser. He just said, the 70s were crazy. So like a rape accusation.
Holy shit.
All
right, I'm back. Let's go, RFK 2021. Let's go! Woo!
I also think that this is my take on this, with all these crazy things he's admitting to. I think he thinks he's more important to this election than he is. Because I think he looks at it like he's trying to get in front of the bad PR.
Yeah.
And I'm like, brother, nobody was even digging.
Yeah.
Nobody cares enough.
You're talking to Roseanne.
Yeah, bro, you're talking, dude.
You're talking to Roseanne.
You're on Tiger Belly, dude.
I know. It's so bad. It's so bad.
He's like, I got to get in front of this. I got
this is why everyone...
he's trying to get the skeletons out of the closet. I'm like,
no one's looking in your closet. You're just pulling them out and shaking them.
Nobody's going anywhere near your closet. People forgot that you even had a closet.
Yeah. It sucks for third-party people, dude. Because they always end up... They're always weird as shit. Like, not that, like...
Ross Perot.
Yeah, Ross Perot was weird as fuck. Gary Johnson was weird as shit.
Nader was cool.
Nader, I guess, was semi-normal. There's another one I'm thinking of that was just weird. I mean, Jill Stein's a freak.
Yeah.
Like, all these... like, they're all fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
Who's the black libertarian? I don't know if he ran.
Who?
Elder. Larry Elder?
Larry Elder's a black conservative. He might be a libertarian.
I think he is. I saw him
he's
moderate.
Weird.
Yeah,
he looks
weirdo.
like he looks animated.
Yeah, he's freaky.
He's
as hell.
a creepy looking
And then
guy.
I just saw him moderate the libertarian debate.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? That's an all-time clip
No.
where it's Larry Elder's moderating a libertarian debate, and he goes, "Do you think driver's licenses should exist?" And one of the libertarian candidates goes, "Yeah, what's next? I need a license to put bread in my toaster." And then the crowd goes, "Yeah!" And then Gary Johnson goes, "I don't know. I think maybe we should show some competence to get behind a vehicle, And then everyone goes, "Boo!" These people are psychotic. Like, what are these libertarian issues? Are so fucking dumb.
It's so funny to be furious at driver's licenses.
It's insane.
Yeah,
you're like you're like a fucking government contract built this highway, and you're like livid. You're like,
yeah.
What is your life?
This is also one of these things. It's like, bro, we're past the point where we can implement this.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
98%
98% of the country goes, "You're being so stupid right now."
Yeah. I mean, in like 1750,
yeah.
maybe we could have tried this,
right.
And it could have been like everyone has their own cabin with their own arsenal, and we police ourselves, and you live off the land.
Jarrett calls it, my buddy Jarrett Moore calls it like, what did he call it? He called it candle maker capitalism, where it's like we were all lived in towns, and then like let the candle maker do his own thing. Leave him alone. Don't tax him to death. He's just making candles for everybody. He trades candles for chickens, and then he has an apprentice who he rapes, and then that guy becomes the next candle maker. Yeah. And you're like, just leave this guy alone. Let him molest his candle boy.
Dude, they'll say that. I see this with like people who are obsessed with urban planning.
Yeah.
Because that's a big, and I get it. Like, I think walkable cities rule. That's Europe's sick, and, I wish
people had left more... quote unquote walkable city, which I don't know if New York gets that credit
of being.
I guess it does. Maybe Manhattan, but I was in like Sunnyside, Queens, where I could afford to live. Yeah, and it was like hard. It was like I'd have to walk half a mile to a grocery store.
Well, the problem with
how much groceries can I get? It's like maybe not half a mile. It's like a third of a mile, right? But it's still like a 15-minute walk, 10-minute walk, right? Of city blocks, Then it's like I gotta buy all this shit, then I gotta fucking carry it all the way back to my fucking house.
Look, I like having a car with a trunk too. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I get why people like walkable cities more.
Yeah.
Also, the problem with New York is that it's too expensive.
You're right.
Like,
if it was half the price and I lived that way, I'd be like, this is great.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
It's brutal. That's why everybody, dude. I talked to all of our friends from Philly. Yeah. They all miss Philly. They don't miss New York. The only difference is that, I mean, Philly's smaller and shit, but Philly's very walkable and densely populated. Mm-hmm. It's just half the price.
Yeah.
New York's too expensive to do anything unless you make 7 figures.
Yeah,
or like $500,000 a year.
Yeah. And then you can live in a nice part of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You can't even really live in the city.
In like a 2-bedroom.
Or you could live in like the Upper West Side or something.
It's so much more expensive than almost anywhere else.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's stupid, dude.
Dude, I was looking up the rents and real estate prices in like Paris. Yeah. You could look them up in insane places and you're like, it's not even close.
It's not nearly as bad?
Not even close.
Well, what is going on?
I mean, Manhattan's tiny geographically, and there's an ungodly amount of wealth there.
Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, it's basically they develop real estate that is used for money laundering. I mean, that's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
And then it drives the price of everything up.
Yeah, it sucks. And it's just this fucking cancer just growing outward.
Yeah, and it leaves a bunch of vacant apartments that people could be using.
I know.
Well, foreign oligarchs have just raped that city.
The Chinese have just fucking fist fucked.
Legitimately. The Chinese and the Russians have really just,
absolutely fist fucked New York.
Crazy.
How is that legal? You should, if you live in China, you shouldn't be able to buy anything here. Maybe I'm gay and retarded.
No, I'm with you.
Why can they buy anything? You don't live here. You're not. You need to be an American citizen to buy land here.
Well, I think
that should be a rule. Is that not a rule? Am I stupid?
I think the government essentially works for our wealthiest people, and the wealthiest people accrue wealth through other very wealthy people in other countries. Basically.
So I really want to know. I'm not
basically like extremely wealthy real estate developers like Donald Trump are fucking. Their interests are protected and enabled and promoted by politicians.
Right, so they go, okay, we won't legislate against that.
They donate to politicians. They're basically lobbyists.
Yeah.
They donate to politicians, and then politicians pass legislation or don't in their best interest. And then those people, a lot of the way, especially if they're in real estate in New York City, they make their money from foreign oligarchs. So it's just...
Yeah, I just don't understand how the Chinese are even allowed.
Chinese pay the real estate developers pay the politicians.
Yeah, I'm going to go on like a fucking Wikipedia dive after this and be like, why can Chinese people even do this? Why is this even legally allowed? Because it shouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean...
You're a Hong Kong real estate guy and you own places in fucking Nantucket? It doesn't make any sense.
You need a Bernie. I really like. Yeah. I'm like fully like. I'm a little late on being a Bernie bro, but I'm really. You need a rare politician who actually genuinely cares about making things better.
Yeah,
more than he cares about remaining in office.
Yeah,
which is almost never, ever, ever the case.
What was the one Citizens United just ruined everything, and Reagan ruined everything.
Yeah,
I think there's a market downhill everything from that.
And Clinton fucked a bunch of shit
with NAFTA.
Yeah, and like Glass-Steagall. I mean, he just. those guys, Clinton and Reagan, I mean, they're such diabolically good politicians.
Yeah.
I mean, they were good looking. They sounded great. They spoke beautifully. Everybody loved them. They made everybody feel warm. At the time, the economy was in a good spot. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, they're shipping jobs to China and letting companies just rape and pillage the middle class. Mm-hmm. And then that didn't really take effect until
There's always a delay. This just always occurs, which is like the bizarre thing about every political debate I've ever seen. It's like, well, everything was horrible. Everything was horrible under your thing. And then they'll be like, well, no, that was from that guy's thing before me. And you're like, well, who's correct about any of this? Who's in charge of anything? It's who's responsible for anything at all?
Yeah, no, I think that's just a bullshit arguing tactic that they could always use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like
you could
totally
always say,
myopic. Like, I mean, purposely too. I mean, that's all that Trump does. All that Trump does is point at Biden and go, things sucked for this reason, things sucked for that reason. And then you go to every comment section and it's just people parodying that, like, gas prices were high, groceries got more expensive, this, and you're like, did Joe Biden personally do that?
Yeah, but I also don't understand why he can't sign executive orders to give people more money. I mean, it's like if people just were doing better financially, then you would have a higher approval rating.
Yeah, I was thinking about. Do you understand inflation?
I mean, a little bit. What don't you understand about it?
That it's just been occurring since the dawn of, like, money. And you're like, so I guess in 100 years, like you're going to make $1 million a year, but gas is going to be $1,000 a gallon. And you're like, it makes no sense. I'm like, why is everything... Nothing goes up and down and balances out up and down. Like, you know, it went from a penny to a nickel, back down to 3 cents, back up to 4 cents, back down to 2.5. Like, things don't change like that. It just goes... In 1980, a lollipop was a penny. Now it's $1.
Like, why
goes. It's just going to go forever. It just keeps going, and, you know, your rent's going to be $1 million a year, but you're going to make $12 million a year. And then you're like, well, wait, I make $12 million a year. I can't even afford a house. And you're like, well, what the fuck? Like, none of it makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's just I'm too stupid to wrap my head around it, but I think at the base of it, it is bullshit in some way.
It definitely has something to do with capitalism, with, like, people wanting their investments to grow.
Yeah, exactly. That is the fundamental problem with capitalism, too. From my limited understanding, is, like, things have to grow exponentially. It's just a retarded system. Like, you think, like, okay, at the base of it, at the root of it, everyone has to get more money all the time. And you're like, that makes no sense.
Yeah,
people can't stay anything.
But we're not going to reverse it now.
I don't know. I'm not saying we have to reverse it, but I'm like, can we make measures in place to, like, you know, just get the worst thing is what we were talking about earlier with Citizens United. I think that's by far the worst thing that has happened to this country in the last, like, 50 years.
You ever hear Pat Burcher's bit about the economy?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking of. It's so right. Great. It's like we made everything up and it still sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, why? Why? Why is milk going to be 5 cents more next week? Why?
Yeah. Well, I think, like, short-term wise, it's because of the money we printed during the pandemic.
Yeah, right. And
so, like, more money means the value of a dollar goes down, and then there were supply chain issues, so it's like a supply and demand issue.
That was another thing that was saying, like, your house doesn't accrue in value, that it's that your money's worth less now.
Wait, what?
It's like your house isn't more valuable than it was before. Like pandemic? Real estate, no, I'm just saying in general real estate, even if your neighborhood stays the same, even if nothing really radical changes in the city that you're in, your house will increase in value. It just does.
Yeah.
It just because of time, it increases in value. So that means that you bought it for $250,000, now it's 300,000.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean your house is better at being a house.
Oh, no.
It doesn't mean your house is worth more as a house. It just means now you bought it for $250,000. That money turned into $300,000 because of inflation.
I think, real estate goes up 8 to 12% per year on average.
It just does.
And then like, inflation's like 3%. So if you own a house, you're basically netting like a 5 to 8 or 5 to 9% increase.
It's like the best investment you can do.
Pretty much. I mean, the S&P is about 9 or 10.
Right.
So the S&P is pretty similar.
Right. So you're like, okay, owning property and just in general betting on S&P, which is just like what? The biggest companies ever all conglomerated into one kind of value, right?
Yes. It's an index fund.
Okay, so the billionaires of billionaires of billionaires, they all get richer, and your house becomes more because your money's worth less.
Yeah.
Those are the soundest investments in this
country. The soundest investment is investing in the richest, most successful corporations
so bad.
to get richer.
It's so evil. It's like at its heart, it's just beyond evil.
Yeah, I guess I never thought of it that way.
It sucks.
It's morally
it's reprehensible.
Wrong. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying like the material, like my material life is unbelievably great.
Yeah,
and it's because of things like that. That's like the concept of like ethical consumption under capitalism. It's like that idea. It's like, yeah, of course, like all the stuff I have is awesome, but I live in this horrific system.
Yeah. Well, it's horrific towards poor people.
It's horrific towards poor people, and it's beyond unfair to the rich. It's beyond biased to rich people.
Yeah, I mean, I really think if their problem now is that they fucked the middle class, and you could distribute. We could even have hyper wealthy people in this country if so many people weren't struggling.
Right. Well, the hyper wealthy people would just have like 20% less money.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
But you'd have to do that with what we talked about the other week, which is raising wages and restricting outsourcing to other countries, and automation.
This is what like my father gets up in arms about like constantly. He's always been railing against like what's it called?
Automation?
Outsourcing. He's always hated it.
Oh, everybody hates where I'm from because, dude, there's a bunch of empty factories. Yeah. They're kind of like... They're like sad and creepy and beautiful all at the same time. In Buffalo, there are tons of these empty mills and empty factories that are just like these ghost buildings.
Yeah, Rust Belt shit.
Yeah, dude, you could climb around them like you're in some weird like coming of age movie.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's freaky, and then like everything also becomes of worse quality a lot of the time too. Like it's the classic example of like if you want a nice car, don't buy American.
Yeah.
And then the American stuff is still made in Mexico. Yeah. And you're like, okay. You're like, the Japanese thing is the best.
Yeah, or like you buy a vintage shirt.
Yeah.
And you're like,
well, this material is so much better.
Yeah, and then you go to like H&M and you're like, I can rip this apart with like, I can go like this and just tear it.
Or even like look at old pictures of food at a diner and you're like, oh my God.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. Someone cut those potatoes.
It's not a gray cheeseburger.
It's not the scariest thing you've ever seen in your entire life. You're like, oh my, they're poisoning us, dude. They're just actively poisoning us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible.
But there were rich people back then, and people didn't have like a ton of disposable income. But I think it was easier for people to start, own, and operate small businesses.
I also blame women.
Yeah?
Yep.
Anyway.
Well, that's our show, you guys. No, if you think about, I've thought about this a lot of like doubling the workforce, like how stupid that was.
Yeah.
You've just cut the price of labor in half. Isn't that crazy?
That's a great point.
I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know if that's the case, but like my sitting, in the dark thinking about this brain was like, that couldn't be good. Like, because you have single income households where the norm. That was everyone's house.
Yeah.
It was like the dad went to like Ford and he was like a manager and he made like enough to do everything. And then your wife just made like food that was fresh.
Yeah.
And then kids had abs. Every child could do 100 pull-ups.
Everybody was in great shape.
Yeah, I mean, this might be just he was also probably getting hammered and beating the shit out of his wife and like pissing in his child's mouth or whatever the hell.
Yeah, but then they were at the end of the day they were fine.
At the end of the day, they got probably raw milk and
nice white picket fence.
Yeah,
good quality food.
Yeah,
nice
Mom
clean yard.
Tomatoes in the backyard.
100% garden, herb
garden. Just
fresh vegetables.
She went to the farmer's market every day.
Sometimes you got to get a black eye to get a nice peach.
Yeah. She would take the bus. It was like a decent bus system. And she would go to a farmer's market, and then she would pick up like cabbages that were organically grown because there was no other way to grow them.
Yeah.
And then she would come home, and then the father would be like, I fucking hate cabbage. Why the fuck would you get this? And then he'd give her one right in the fucking eye.
Sock her right in the chops.
And then she'd start crying, and then you know what? She'd fix him a drink, and he would eat the cabbage.
And you go, what a lovely lemonade.
And well, wow.
Thanks, dear.
Do you want to fuck?
That's the American dream.
And she'd be like, no. And he goes, tough shit. You're going to give me a boy. His 4 daughters. You're going to give me a boy.
That's so old-timey.
You're going to give
me a boy? I need you to produce me a son.
It's like just totally blaming her. Yeah. Figure it out.
Like she's a vending machine.
Get it together. Yeah.
I'm
pressing A2. I want a Snickers. You keep giving me 100 graham bars. It's pissing me off.
Stop giving me a fucking payday.
I get payday.
Give me the
another
Twix.
payday.
Twix.
I'm going to kick you right in the fucking head. I'm going to throw you down a flight of stairs if you produce another girl. Yeah, so, I mean, it was worse that way. But it does seem to be a lot, like, I don't know, just the fact, like, the single family, or single income seemed like a chill fucking life.
It did.
And then they were all like, we want to work. And I'm like, who put you up to this?
It would be nice to just go work on the assembly line and know that everything is going to be sick when you get home.
Yeah, for the most part.
Things are going to be cleaned and folded and cooked and baked. And your kids are going to be like bathed and dressed.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
Just come home to a buttoned-up ass house.
If you had I'm sure they were few and far between because it's all propaganda and fake. But if you had like something resembling Norman Rockwell painting,
yeah,
it'd be pretty fucking cool.
It's a nice life.
Yeah, but also today I was Mr. Mom today, and I feel good about it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I like fucking, making the house nice for my GF and then going to work like late at night because I can do it. And then I'll come home and she'll have done something. She'll have folded the laundry. And you're like, great. I love this equitable thing we have going on.
Yeah, it's nice.
It kind of splits everything in half.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe it's okay. But the fact we both have to work, I resent in some kind of economic way.
Yeah.
Like really, like my grandpa didn't, my grandma didn't have to work.
Yeah, I think if Autumn gets a job, it'll be, we're doing well. I don't know. Maybe it'll be worse. Right now, it's unbalanced.
Spending too much time together?
No. I make the vast majority of the money,
money,
and she does the vast majority of the house things.
I see.
Yeah.
And there's some weird resentment building on both ends.
Oh,
where she goes, I fold the laundry every day, and then you go, I'm the only one who has any money.
I need to be cleaner. I don't do that. That would be shitty.
But I know, but I mean, you don't voice this, but maybe.
But I'm freaking out all the time, making sure
we have enough money.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
So, that's my...
Yeah.
Where my energy's going.
Yeah, I think that happened, too, with, fucking old 50s nuclear families.
Yeah.
That's an inevitable fight.
I
put fucking food on the table, and it's like, you never see your children.
You cook it up in a pan.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's like that birth thing of, you cooked the hell out of it!
Yeah. Dude. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta be cleaner. I leave shit everywhere. Yeah. That's my problem. It's just so not. I lived like a fucking rat when I was single.
Yeah,
just
true.
A dirty rat. I was just a fucking gross piece of shit.
Yeah,
like classic. Like when they show like a depressed guy's better. I wasn't even depressed, but it was sad.
It was really bizarre and sad.
It's just not in me to think to put things where they go.
It's not your instinct. You have to fight against your instinct.
Yeah, my instinct is just throw it on the floor.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, me too.
And then. Then let it get to crisis mode and then do one big clean.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
But you're supposed to put everything in the little receptacle so it stays clean all the time.
Yeah, I know.
I'm terrible.
As I've gotten older, I've gotten better at that, though.
It's one of the... That might be the thing
also,
that
appreciation for clean things.
That's the thing I'm improving on the least.
Clean sheets is like, oh my God.
I know, but
so
I would
nice.
never think to clean them. But when Autumn cleans them, they're wonderful.
Right. Well, then next step is... Maybe I clean them.
This is I want to get better at this, dude. But she complains about it. She basically goes, "You haven't gotten almost any better at this over 4 years," and I'm like, "I know."
Yeah, I can't even argue against her.
No,
that's the worst.
I've improved maybe 2%.
That's almost worse than having a point.
I have no point.
Having no point is really it's embarrassing.
Yeah,
that happens to me all the time. Skate will be. I'm trying to think of the last thing that happened, but. Skip will be like, you do this, and it sucks. And I go, I do that. I do that, and it really fucking sucks. Which is the hard, growy, good part of relationships is that, your wife or girlfriend or whatever just shows you your absolute horse shit you do every day.
Her two that she's just got me on, locked down. It's not even a fucking fight.
Yeah.
First round knockout are, you don't do chores and you're angry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know.
Yeah. No, Skate caught me with one of those one time.
I'm just screaming with a pile of socks. Dude,
I'm looking at I'm looking at a horrible crowd work clip on my phone, and I'm just talking to Skate like, this sucks. I fucking shit, fuck. And she goes, why do you watch those?
Yeah.
And I go, why the fuck do I watch? I have nothing. I know. Yeah, it's actually very stupid.
I know. I gotta stop hate watching.
It's
stuff.
It's really dumb.
I hate watch so much. I hate watch this Bills podcaster. I just hate watching. He's not even annoying. He's just boring. But I'm blown away by how
fucking boring he is.
He's a dud. He's just a dud.
He just stinks,
dude. I've noticed little ticks he does. He has to keep telling people to stay tuned. They're only like 25-minute podcasts.
What podcast is it? Okay, tell me later.
I mean, I don't care.
It's a Bills podcast. I mean, how big is this?
Locked On Bills. Joe Marino. Joe Marino from Locked On Bills.
Joe Marino, you're fucking
shots fired, dude. He's just such a snoozer.
Yeah.
I watch him constantly because I'm just blown away by how
boring he is.
He's just a fucking simple salmon ass motherfucker.
Dumbass, goofy ass.
Yeah, goofy ass, plain ass motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I gotta stop hate watching things, even though I do love it.
I know.
I mean, I sent you a terrible stand up clip the other day. And I was like, oh, he sucks.
You sent me a brutal podcast clip and then you sent a impression of it in a retard voice. I was dying laughing.
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Yeah.
I was dying. Dude, I was like in the car.
I stumbled across that clip and I go, I can't believe this.
I was like at a red light and I just opened my phone and it's you being like, I was howling laughing.
This is the nature of our relationship.
Yeah.
Is I just send him things I hate and then do.
Sometimes I'll be in a bad mood and I'll see a clip I hate and I'll just send it to you with like, this guy's I want him to die. I'm just like, this sucks and I hate him.
I want to kill him. I want to fucking stab him in the mouth.
Like, I just know that you're going to totally get where I'm coming from with this. Like, a strange level of vitriol.
There's no part of me that's going to go, hey, man.
Yeah. It's
what are you talking about?
A bad comedian.
It's just the worst thing you've ever seen.
This sucks and I hate this guy.
It has 1.8 million likes and you're like,
so
dude,
bad.
Everyone's an idiot except me.
Did you see D'Elia
do the ironic crowd work thing?
Bizarre.
Very strange.
Bizarre move.
Yeah.
Just bizarre.
I'm like, you made your bread on this.
Yeah.
I'm like, just be good at it.
He's good at crowd work.
He's always been good at crowd work.
For any criticism, you know, I'm not sure what you would critique about Chris D'Elia, what you would criticize about
what
his
he's
life.
done wrong in his
I'm
life.
not sure the problems you may have with him. I sit in the dark when it comes to Chris D'Elia, but yeah, I was like, this is an odd move.
It's a weird move.
To be a guy who's always just murder with crowd work and be like, do a clip where you're ironically doing crowd work. I'm also like, you're like the least ironic comedian I could think.
Yeah, you've no bone in
it's
your
very
body.
Like what
is
you
ironic.
see is what you get.
Right, which is fine.
Yeah.
You can be a what you see is what you get comic. That's a fine way to... That's what I'm trying to be.
He fucking blew the roof off the Comedy Store for like a decade doing that. Just
Why
being
are you bitter about it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm like, you're already you're very famous and I guess you were embroiled in some controversy. I'm not sure what it was, but he, I don't remember, but he was in trouble for something.
Yeah.
Witch hunt.
Yeah.
Cancel culture witch hunt.
Allegedly. Did some things. Yeah, the woke mob came after.
The woke mob came after.
That was basic. That was a report, right?
Yeah, I think that was.
I think that was the LA Times article. Was woke mob
comes after Chris D'Elia.
Yeah, woke mob hunts down
for something. We're not sure yet. That was the full. That was the sub header.
Fucking classic mob mentality.
Classic mob mentality.
Classic groupthink, dude.
Just fucking sheeple. It was a sheeple, and
bunch of fucking followers out
there. A bunch
there,
of followers and sheeple got him, and then
look, guys,
and he remained very popular.
Yeah,
nothing really happened to him.
No,
nothing that bad.
No, he's still kind of crushing it.
On the level he was accused of being, against the woke mob.
Yeah,
on that level,
he wasn't PC enough.
Yeah, apparently. He probably wasn't PC enough.
That's what I heard.
I heard they were mad at him for having tattoos.
Yeah. And being cool.
And being badass.
Yeah. People were jealous of his sneakers.
Yeah. Woke mob comes after Chris D'Elia's sneakers. All right, you want to wrap it up? We're like at 90 minutes, dude.
All right. We'll see. Shout out to the Weeklings. Shout out to the Supreme Gentleman, the Baby
Sorry
Mamas.
we talked about modern art for so long.
Yeah,
but,
apologies, guys.
Just give Luke a DM of, give him the what
Let
for.
us know what you think about the art thing.
Art historians out there? I know a lot of our fans are art historians.
I hate it so much. We just fucking bickered about
the
paintings. All right. We love you guys.
Love you.
We'll see you next week.